Obviously, I'm concerned. I think that there should be a circumstance where the jobs that are being displaced, replaced with new jobs, they should go to the first choice should go to the UAW members who had the job, and the salary should be commensurate.
President Biden speaking to reporters going into the weekend, looking for a deal between the United Auto Workers Union and Detroit's Big Three. Differences remaining on everything from pay to transitioning to electric vehicles, raising concerns about a potential strike when the current contract expires next month. Senator Bernie Sanders weighing in on CNN.
I very strongly support the UAW and their new leadership standing up and fighting back. And I certainly hope there is not going to be a strike. No one wants a strike. But the Big Three have got to understand they cannot have it all. They can't make huge profits, give exorbitant compensation packages to their CEOs and ignore the needs of workers.
Team coverage starts right now. Kailey Leinz in New York, David Welch in Detroit. David, the Tom Keene question, I think, is the right question. Are we going to get that strike?
I think there's a very good chance we will, with at least one of the companies. Whether or not they go out on all three remains to be seen. Usually they pick a company and they try to cut a deal with them that will set a pattern for the other two. We're not sure if Shawn Fain will do that, but I think probably he goes on strike with one of them to set the tone that the union's very serious about the demands they've made.
He himself called those demands audacious. David, talk to me about those demands, how realistic some of them are. 32-hour work week, 46% raise, traditional pensions returning. How realistic are these asks?
Right. So look, before he made that list of demands, Shawn Fain and the vice presidents had a series of Facebook live chats where they talked about their priorities, which were better pay, getting entry-level workers and temps better pay for them, getting them closer to the $32 an hour top wage, making sure battery plant workers are taken care of, inflation protection, job security for workers who make engines and transmissions, those kinds of things. They didn't mention back then 32-hour work weeks or pensions. That sort of came after Shawn Fain started talking to his members. So I think the very realistic demands are that first set, mostly about pay, taking care of younger, newer workers, getting a better compensation package for temporary employees, maybe making them permanent, and workers at battery plants, and trying to secure the future of electric vehicle employees from here on out. 32-hour work week, I don't see it happening. It seems like something that kind of was thrown in at the last minute, and the auto companies will fight very hard not to get back to a defined benefit pension plan. Most new hires now, or say post-2007 hires, have a 401k like most people have these days. Those, retiree health care and pensions, those were huge items that played a role in Chrysler and General Motors going bankrupt over a decade ago. I don't think they're going to want to go back to that, and they're going to fight very hard against it.
Kailey, you and I have talked about this all morning. How does the president, this White House, thread this needle?
It's a very difficult line to walk, John, on two fronts. One is that President Biden has billed himself as a pro-union president and also as a climate president. As David is talking about the fact that this all does fundamentally come down as well to the EV transition, that is a transition the president is trying to accelerate through legislation like the Inflation Reduction Act. But he also is a president who has said repeatedly he wants to support unions. How does he do that when he also wants to avoid a potential strike of 150,000 workers? Very difficult conversation. And he has been active. He has spoken, said that he has been speaking with the UAW. He put out a statement earlier this month urging the two parties to come to a fair agreement, saying that the clean economy, clean energy economy should be a win-win for both parties here. The other added difficulty, John, is that if the administration needs to get involved in these conversations in a more material way, they will be doing so not with a confirmed Secretary of Labor, but still just an acting one, as Julie Su is still only serving in that capacity.
Amazing. What a story. Kailey, David, thanks for the update.